Welcome to Varied Views, guys. I'm Tele Alice Lidwab, and today we're touching on drug addiction. We have Kaya, who's more than willing to share his journey of addiction with us, and he was asked that he be accompanied by his sponsor, Osmangele, to show support. This is going to be interesting. If you have not already, please subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss an update.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I would like to welcome Kaya and Osmangele. And I would like to thank you for coming in and sharing your story with us, Kaya, and also sharing your insight with us. I want to start off with Kaya. Kaya,
Hi.
did drugs. Tell us how it started, like your journey.
Well, from what I remember, it started at a very young age. And they didn't just start with drugs. So it started from smoking cigarettes to ganja, ganja to menrex to heroin to rocks to dabbling with crystal meth and cat. Yeah, boy. So yeah, it started way back. So I think around Boma 1998, 98, 97. Yeah, man. Boma 98, 97. Yeah, I grew up in a house, Singaki. We 5 siblings from my mom. Nah? But then now Tingiti Mina, second oldest, and my little brother and my sister and the last born. They slept together with my mom, like we stayed in the same house. And then with a stepdad
Okay.
in a colored community, I don't know. Ngaibeka kanjalo. Yabo. So you can imagine, ngulogo, the family was not like tight in that. Yabo, because now me and my brother have our own dad. And then the two also had their own father, which we were staying with in the house. Yabo. So with that, I was mostly in the streets, man. Yabo, as smart as I was or am, even now still, yabo, I was mostly in the streets. Yabo, just dabbling, trying to find myself and whatnot. So how I got introduced to cigarettes in Jayagokala was when I would visit my dad in Heidelberg. Yeah, because I used to stay in Nigel at the time. So every time I would visit my dad used to smoke most, and he was a cop. So he's one who comes in and leaves the house. Yeah, so every time he'd leave and go and shift, I would literally like go and check his ashtray, and then take baths.
It's very stumpy.
Yeah. It's what the stumpy that would leave in his ashtray. So I think from then it escalated now, because every time I'd go back to my mom, Amachita, even in primary school, would like bring a plant or two. So with that, I figured out why not. And I grew up in a house, like I said, it was not tight knit, and there was no one who was paying attention to anything. As long as you go to school and you come back. Now, you go to school, it doesn't matter. As long as you go to school and come back with good grades. You understand? And I was that child, really, because now I was always top of my class. Okay, cool. So, and then, primary school, dabbling with weed now, because I can smoke. I
In primary?
Yeah. Smoked a couple cigarettes, coughed now and then. But then with ganja, it was different because it gave a plug. Grade 5, 6. Already senyazi ukuthi how ganja tastes like. Kuphi umuntu would go. I had older friends. The friends I kept were older than me. So when they would throw parties, then I was there also. Mhlambe alcohol nyana, but alcohol I was never a fan, because I could see how people became destructive when they were drunk and whatnot. So I chose the mellow side of, which was the ganja. Yeah, no, it's mellow because I'm a chita that I would hang out with that smoke ganja. They were down.
So at this point, when you are trying out weed, you're not really thinking I've got whatever issues. It was just
No, it was just me
you
being the child. Yeah, well, yeah,
no,
because
Seleka, you were being naughty.
I was being naughty
essentially.
for sure. I was
Yeah,
being
yeah,
naughty.
yeah.
I didn't even think that hard about it. To a point to go to at school because they knew there was this thing where there's kids in grade 5, 6 that are smoking and whatnot. They brought this other guy who had a hole here. Yeah, well, he was literally breathing. He was literally breathing using a
Yes,
pipe.
put trauma.
Do you understand? And we were told, if you guys continue smoking and whatnot, you're going to end up looking like, do you understand? But it never registered because, I mean, how? I'm still young. I'm sure
Yeah.
too smart. I'm still young. I mean, footy, I am not that into it because it's not like umuntu would smoke on a daily. Fast forward, it happens now. I have to move. No. Before that, even I think even still in Nigel, when I started my high school. Yeah, well, shoot, even before that, before I went into grade 8, I'd already experimented a bit with buttons. That's Mendrix. Yeah, well, so it was from the ganja
So
to
ulifake man.
how bra. Angisho ngitshela ngalama guys that are mellow. There I know when I'm with them, there's
The weed
conscious
guys.
talks. There, yes, yeah, boy. Yonke into is always on that. And I mean, growing in a colored community, for me to fit in, I had to know how to speak Afrikaans. Do you understand? And if I couldn't speak Afrikaans, I would literally be that guy, the Anadaki.
Yeah.
But I understand. Do you understand? So
yeah.
thinking about it now, I think it was just a form or a way of my fitting in. Do you understand? And if you hang around with gangsters, ekaslam, then it means, I mean, you in. Do you understand? Because I when I would walk say to the shop. Yabo. I mean, when you get to the shop, when you get there, you can't just say, "Hey, ngizothenga isinkwe brown." Yabo. You must come kaneka sablief loaf brain broad gray. So in order for me to even learn that language, I was always knocked. Like there's this thing they call knocking. They would literally hit me on my head. I literally learned how to speak Afrikaans in that way. So even in school.
But are you not colored?
No, I grew up colored. I grew up colored, I'm not colored, I'm Xhosa.
Oh wow.
So yeah, njengoba ngisho.
That makes sense, Ukaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, and then I start dabbling with the Mendrix, like I said now. Yeah, and Guguti, I think I was doing that, wanting to be part of the cool gang. Yeah, because those are the chains that always say the story. If you were to Clayton and them, you must know. Like even Pelangkali High School. In high school, we have kids coming from Kwatema, coming from Duduza, yabo, with the Zingalamatics, Ziawa and whatnot. Ngapha silela boThekeni. Do you understand? So now, angeke ngizola namajita waseThema ngihlale Arla Park without a click. Do you understand? So I'm guessing now that's how I could fit in because besikhona ukuthi siphume esikolweni kuneintaba lathi nabe sifunda khona, we'll just go there, button, come back. Yabo.
Button, boring.
Yeah. Like in because I'm sure we used to smoke it via pipe.
Oh,
Mendrix,
okay,
we mix with-
button.
yeah, it's a button.
Oh.
Yeah. Ipilisi man elincane that you would crush. Yabo. So yeah. Okay, fast forward, senyasuka Alra Park now. Ngibhema ugwayi and I smoke
Weed.
I smoke weed and I smoke Mendrix. Yabo. And then
Rose were men drugs ukwenye.
it gives you that. Yabo. Khona into beyisichaza. Khona into beyisichaza. Yini leyo ukuthi when we would sit msena C4, ne, and they be smoking like a veal, like a full button. There was this thing we kune double star, we kune German mark then. Yabo. So it double star besithi masibhema, and then for some reason whoever would like take a drag because thola ndiza chasana namabonda. So we would be excited yabo ukuthi hey eketi omgekap ne yabo, look, I just dragged but I didn't fall over. Hey Mara, did you see how Mark fell there? And then we'd laugh about it like it's nothing, and the people were getting hurt. Yeah, because muntu would smoke kiliti yabo in their head. Yabo. So then now kenzakale my mom decides ukuthi no bra wena and like so mdala. Remember, these people don't even know that I'm on drugs. They don't even know that I'm smoking cigarettes. They're just seeing this child, hey, serious in school, disciplined and whatnot.
Oh, wow.
But meaning they never paid that much attention. Like that's footy in the house. My stepdad was mooring my mom. Like it's no business. Yeah, but remembering that in Kumbula one day, we were from the field. Because they had a best friend who stayed front opposite. Untanga, shuti when we had came into our street, we could see like commotion yana yabantu yabo. Mangithi klape, I could see these people almost standing in front of my yard. Yabo, there's my stepdad there in his boxers and my mom na yogcoke whatever with a pen. I'm like, yes, you should be the foot because I know this is something that I went through like always, yabo. And then I went kwandlula logo, and my mom decided no, when I uhambe go and go to your dad because my dad stays in Heidelberg. Yeah, but
Is
the
it-
one that I used to go visit now
Okay.
with the cigarette butts. And I was like, no, it's fine. But then she puts it in the look, hey, like you must just vie and go stay with you. But I knew Guti, man, and this guy had a tight relationship. Do you understand? But because I understand, I was like, no, it's fine. Let me go live with this guy. And he lives alone. Yeah, but now already I'm whacked because nyapema on a daily shooting attend a grade 10, 11, 12 nyapema. For me to go to rehab, it was in matric. Ne? Shuthi mangizoceda 2005, mangizoceda my writing my exams, then I realized ukuthi son manje sengiqeda isikolo, I need to man up now. Do you understand? And then it means for me to come right, I must leave ama drugs so that at least I can continue with my school. Yeah, because I thought my dad, since he's a cop, mhlawumbe uhlaphukile, he'll kind of make something. Yeah, and then I went to rehab December yakhona for 3 weeks ne? In Horizon. First rehab was Horizon Clinic. Went there, it was cool. I mean, futhi ngelaphaya ngizicebile, I went and told my mom, told my dad, hey, I have a problem. Yeah, well, my dad is a cop. Yeah, but he's like, no, I have a medical aid. Yeah, well, I took.
So wait, so when you went to your parents, was this at a point where you realized, okay, I've got a problem and I need it to be fixed?
And mostly it was, I need to grow up now. Like, I can't be living this life. Do you understand?
Okay.
Because it's either manga jonjanga something, I never have money on me. Ngihlala nomuntu endlini who's not there. Phela my dad would come in the morning from work and then leave. Makafika uyachange uyahamba. There was never a relationship. Do you understand? So I'm literally living in that house with someone, but I'm living on my own. Do you understand? He doesn't provide jack. Do you understand? Sorry. Yeah, well, but then now, shuthi yonke into bengiyenza bengiziphandela because already from la ngibuya khona ngibuya ukuphila nama-gangster phela mangifika ekasi nguma-second. Do you understand? Because everybody thought I was colored like you did. Do you understand? So that's how bengikhona ukuthi ngihlanganise yabo, and then kuze vele ngihlanganise whatever bengihlanganisa behamba nobutsotsi ngaphakathi. And then obviously
Butsotsi, like how?
it's either we go steal something or we go rob someone. And yabo. Mara like 16, it's nothing heavy. We wouldn't hurt people.
No. I think for me, that's not even the thing, because I think at the end of the day, if you don't have money and you've got this, and I according to how I understand this habit to be, is that it's expensive. At some point, you're going to find yourself resorting to stealing. And I mean, if you know somebody that is an addict, you know that it comes with it. You know what I mean? Just put your phone away. You know what I mean? Just put your phone away.
It's gone.
So then you go to you decide, okay, I'm gonna go to my parents and say, listen, I've got a problem. What is it that made you realize, or there's a problem?
It's how I was living, man. Like phela for me to get by, ekuseni ngavuka ngibe okay. Marilanga mashona, I need to get something nyana because now I'm not feeling alright. Yeah, but I need to fill. There's this hole that I'm busy filling inside of me, Pell. Do you understand? I could literally
Elaborate the hole.
Yeah, it's a heebie-jeebies, mara it's it down. They call it down, manje. Yeah, but they call it down, manje. So for me to, it's like when you wanna smoke a cigarette.
Well, like when the addiction.
The addiction, yes. I was
you're
in.
not taking,
yes,
you
you're
have
gonna.
okay.
Yeah, well, so with me it was automatic because now it wasn't a matter of I'm gonna wait until I feel a certain way. Do you understand? I need to get my fix. So being slick like it because I'd stay the morning. Yeah, but be productive and clean and whatever. And then basically look late in pandile maybe leo 6 tiger 4 tiger nyana leo. Then go and buy my stuff and smoke. And then for the most part, ngathi mangifika in Heidelberg, bengibhema ngiyi-one. I didn't have like friends bengihlala nabo or ngiphanda nabo. Yabo into bengizenza mina ngiyi-one. Mara besingehonje where everybody that smokes besihlangana khona and that's how I made friends with the other gangsters base Heidelberg.
Oh, so you go to, then you decide, okay, mom, dad, I'm going to rehab.
Yes.
Let's go. Then,
Yeah, no, my dad, obviously, mama drugs, I was surprised. My mom blaming my dad, like, it was our bam. I mean, you know? Because my mom was more on my dad. Like, that's why I'm using drugs, because my dad is never there, and he's not even providing ipapa le papa endlini. Do you understand? So that's why the child would do this. Yeah, so maramina bengazi ukuthi at least khona something ezoyenzakala. And my dad decided, no, mina since ngihata medical aid, yeah, I took myself to Sanka, by the way. Do you understand? And then fika kwami Sanka did ask me, bese uzoyenzani, we're gonna take the free route or yeah, and then the counseling sessions were such that now I'm gonna tell them nginenkinga yani, like what am I using and whatnot. And then they say, where do I love, with who do I stay, yabo? And then my dad had to come in. That's how I could produce the medical aid to say, no, you can take him to Horizon Clinic in Boksburg. That's why I did the 3 weeks. That's now for Ganja and Mendrax. Yabo. Okay, December, nyabuya le, just before E28, yabo, before inyanga iphela. How? Mangehle uzwazi ngibuya, I come back alone. Akunamuntu ongilandile. I didn't even get any visitation in rehab. Like I literally took myself there phela. Do you understand? I come back. First thing I did, mangehle eTexini ngihlangane nama-outie ebengwajwayele yabo. Shuthi munye untanga bekahamba with another chick baphethe peppermint. Peppermint it's a
chocolate.
No. Liquor. It's bathini. You sure? Liquor something. Mara uyayimix man peppermint yakhona. It's green soy in a bottle, man. Yeah, inobiyeka master ngaphakathi.
Oh.
Yes. Mara ibhodlela le.
Oh, okay.
Uma ngifika bangijabule, sobuyile, uyabo. You know ukuthi that same night when I got home, after I entertained them, I went and bought myself a button and smoked. Yabo.
So no lang rehab.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't think I even understood why I was going there. Yabo, mara ngisho we are getting there. Understood, yabo.
So you understood you had a problem.
Yes.
And then you went to your parents, like, okay, I've got a problem. And then you went and you got a solution for this problem. And then you came back, I forgot about that problem.
You know what happened. Remember when I was in rehab, I think I was busy structuring, yabo. And for the most part, I didn't want to come back to Heidelberg. Do you understand?
Why?
Because already in Heidelberg, I know abantu that using Pela. When I went to rehab, fundisa.
No, your dad was in Heidelberg,
Yeah,
right?
he was in Heidelberg.
And then your mom and them were in Niger.
I couldn't go to Niger.
Yeah, that was out of the question. That's why they
yeah.
shipped you off to Heidelberg. And then now you also don't want to go to Heidelberg at this point.
Because now there's nothing that's going to be productive for me there. I know how my dad is. I know what I'm going to come across when I get home. It's the same pattern. Do you understand? And
What pattern is that?
I'm gonna be waking up in the morning. My dad is not gonna be there. If I feel like ngifuna ukuhamba, ihonje is just around the corner. Ngizovele ngihambe ngiyozibhemela. Meaning angna
Somebody
line.
that's
Yeah, I wouldn't have like a sponsor like my old lady right now. I wouldn't have like a sponsor. Yeah, but umuntu that I can just go to mhlambe and cry to, like, hey man, hey, I feel this type of way. Can you please assist mhlambe? Ngifuna ukuyo-apply for this thing, or I want to start school or whatnot. I never had that. So mangbuya, I think it just made sense in my mind. And I think it's that shot of peppermint. Because remember, when you're using drugs, you are told even in rehab, you should stay away from anything edaga ingqondo. Do you understand? And should see in a crowd that you used to hang out with before you went, until you find yourself and you see yourself strong. Like so, not to use even in their midst.
Why do you think that first chance at rehab didn't work for you? What is it that the rehab center did wrong that just didn't work?
It was all talk. And I was not prepared for the outside world. I was told what to expect, told what to do. Yeah, but there was no reference outside. Okay, now when you get out, you can go to this place or that place, at least where you can find abantu abafana nawe that they can be able to assist you in this journey. Because the real world is not the same with
the theoretical information that they give you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, cool. Went back. So that's what 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's after rehab.
Horizon, yes.
And then
I went back since that day when I got home. Yeah, it was buttons. And then 2009. And then 2009, I meet this friend. And this friend, deep. And my is even introducing me to church. I didn't mention from where I come from. I used to attend church. Even spacey attend say hi, start going down. Either way, because it was like we found life. When we went, you couldn't miss a Sunday because then you're not gonna eat, especially at my friends, because that's where I spend most of my time. Yeah. So I meet this guy, Kamala Keosipo. He's like, he's not like the other gents for the longest time I've never met. And I could connect with him. On that base here, that spiritual vibe that he had going on. Because we go deep. And they might be here's this guy. He's the exact same person that I used to stay with when I started smoking ganja and what I'm like, hey, misters. Yabona ama-buttons phela ngihlale ngibhema ngiyi-one abantu engihlala nabo shuthi noma ngingahlala nabo for hours on end, but I won't get anything out of them. Instead, it's always me giving, yabo. But then Urisipur was different. And then I saw ukuthi yena makabhema, he just rolls like a small anyana plant. He tells you ukuthi mina ngifuna lento yeni le bangela nintuthu because with the buttons angisho bobhema ngepipe, yabo. He'll roll like a small joint. He had mirrors and whatnot. Yeah. Utela whatever powder yakhe tela out of a plastic. Yabo. Mina I'm curious, but I'm like, yeah, lo muntu yenzani? Uyapitchiza, makaqeda ukupitchiza, uyahwaya ngereza yakhe uthela phakathi kwezolo. Ayivale maqeda avabhema. 1, 2 drugs nyana ngibona umuntu angasho noma khuluma man, and he's clean, yabo. In my head I'm like, no, when I say, what is this that you're smoking? I mean, ngibhema Thai out here. Yabo, Thai. Yeah, that's what they call nyaupe now.
Hey.
Thai. Yeah, well, ubhema Thai. Yeah, well, brown plastic bag and whatnot. I'm like, okay, manje ndoda thingi, tena to serious, yabo, you ask me. Like, uzoyimela la, I'm like, hey man, ndoda nami ngikhathele man ilento la, thingizwe, yabo. Awungishaya 2 drugs nyana, 2 drugs. Yabo. That was it for me. I'm serious. That's it. Ngathi ngivuka the following morning, yabo, I went and fetched Sipho at his crib and asked him, bra man, hey, lento yakho yakhester le uyithole kuphi kanjani? Can we?
Are you serious?
Yeah, boy. That's when now I started teaching yami heroin. Because he Thai on le has heroin.
Nyope is.
Yes. Amara le bayibhema manje is something else. The ones when we started smoking Thai, the which is called nyope, besibizi Thai thina then. Yeah, boy, be hectic. Be hectic. It's a kind of a drug with moyibhema, it changes umhlaba wakho nje.
How so?
Yeah, ngazi mfethu yonke into just becomes okay, bra. Like everything is okay. Lokuthi shuthi unokuthi ngihleli ngixoxa nawe like LS uyabona shuthi indaba manje LS manazi yonke into LS man. Yabo shuthi ayikho into wrong. Yeah, I can wake up in the morning, clean myself up, do my chores and whatnot, and then go smoke. Ngihlele ehontshini kungcolile mara mina ngiclean. Sihlale noSipho lapha nepili zethu sibe busy. Sicoxa izinto eziserious. Do you understand?
But do you even remember what you're talking about at this
Yeah,
point?
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
like, serious. What serious?
Yeah,
thing
we
are you
would.
going to have
Busy
to be
serious. The thing,
Nyanyaza.
the only flop about that was that now we only spoke about these things, but we couldn't do any of them because remember,
what were the things that you guys would talk about?
There was businesses there, man.
Like,
there was
you want all the little builder stuff.
Pela the same Sipho ngutshela ngayo once owned a bakery elokishini lethu. He was the first owned a bakery. He once owned a shop in town ngase Bez like phezulu, so a clothing. Do you understand? Shuthi untanga had that mind and he would make money. Yabo. Spushe 2010, 2011, 2012, and then now you must know from 2010 you get sesifaka ne rock now. He used to do it.
So at this point, where is your family?
Oh, they there, mara. Mfethu ngiphila ngiyi-one.
But at this point, because you've already went to them and you said, I'm addicted, take me to rehab. So would you like I? But your father now knows.
He's never there.
Mara what's
drugs? Yeah. He's never there. And he doesn't, he doesn't care. Mhlambi he was just like, hey, yeah, but this is not my business. You came here vele sonjalo, so fix yourself. Yeah, but I think that's how he would see it. Yeah, but and he's a cop now, I remember, well respected. So I can't now come and dent his image here. That's what he used to call me.
Who's your father?
Yeah, boy,
You've got the accent, do you?
You see, so yeah, kube logo manje uSipho sesibhema ne rock man. Do you understand? And he never showed me that because he was afraid ukuthi shimaka ngivezela leli phela isweet elimnandi. Yabo, they used to call it the power of God. It was babies and a power of God. Yabo, because so maybe the power of God. That drug would make you do the impossible. Like even like manje, I would think of izinto that we used to do that nami I kind of feel like kanjani. There was a time, I'm just gonna share a little story here. Sila eJozi no Sipho. My first job, by the way, Beilanga say Mandela Bridge. We used to stay under Mandela Bridge in those carriages there, but then besifix isporo. Sebenzele nenye company bathi Goba Rail. Yeah, so we used to, railway, there's ballast underneath. We used to go and work that thing like you're working in the mine and whatnot. much. So mara thina besele lapho ukuthi sikhona kuba nemali, sikhona ukuzibhemela, we are close to Jozi. Because eJozi kula stuff se cheap khona. I mean it's like 20 bucks a bag. Mawungapha 20 bucks a rock and it's ubaba kusintonyana elokishini uthola nge50 rand and elincane nebag yakhona ithola ngoma 35 rand and iyakalwa nokukalwa futhi, do you understand? So kube yiloko manje sesibhema ama rock noSipho kumnandi ngithole nomsebenzi ngapha yabo, and mara we are heavy in this thing because kuyo yonke into esiyenzayo angeke uhlale ungalithola irock, angeke uhlale ungalithola itie yabo. Menrex it's a thing of a past and iyumsebenzi futhi because you must have insane engaka, you must have and idinga nespace la sikhona ukushaya nje kuphela sizambele like it's nothing yabo. Sichube 2011 12 13 14 15 ngisabhema ne makufika 2015 ngathi ingqondo yabuya futhi again like I always do yabo. Manje sesihamba kuphi bo Randfontein yabo, sisenza sona lo msebenzi wesiporo yabo. I'm like no mina la ngiyayehla le train because I don't want to live my life like this, do you understand? Because we are goba la and ngiphilela ama drugs ngapha. That's what my mind is telling me. Noma sayikho nento oyenzayo to upgrade your life, you said you want to go to school and you're not even doing those things, do you understand?
So kaya orobala kayo no?
Akbali
You're not sleeping anywhere.
Kiroba la under Mandela Bridge, bro. Kula carriages la, we used to, I even wrote about this. We should ama carriage, the one that we had, bene kafulezi 8. Yeah, and they see 8 in that. Abantu ababuya eHeidelberg because aqashwa omunye umlungu nje asithatha siletha ngapha ukuthi sizokuncedisa abanye abafana babezulu, do you understand ngayo because abona yibo bebabhizi ngemishini le serious thina bekuthi sokushaya i10 season fork yala matshe lawa to balance isporo process end nje. So mara uyagoba la should we have time during the day, then 8 o'clock sengena ntambama at night yabo. Truck yeza fetches us, takes us to Park Station. When ama trains sewaphesa wastopile siwe isiporo siphakanyiswe khishwe lamatshe fakwa amatshe amasha isiporo siyahlala thina siza ngama 10 seasons shaya boma should the way bese fast ngakhona at times bekushaya 12:1 sesicedile because then we were told ukuthi mina ngishaya 4 sese on the side there because now remember I train yokucala isuka ngo4 yabo. So yeah fast forward sengi deep manje lokuthi I can't stay without Thai. And manje i-Thai mangaba uyibhemi gives you stomach cramps. Lawa serious. Lokuthi you get sick.
Because I mean they're saying that people babatu bangnyaupe can't actually kick the habit. That kicking the habit is actually very difficult.
I'd always tell her, Mina, I think in my journey, umdali sinza rajo. Yeah, umdali sinza la. Because I don't think Mina would have done these things on my own. I'm sitting here today, I still don't believe with Mina, me, after so many years. Yeah, but I'm here now speaking about this thing like it's a thing of the past. Do you understand? And because I can never explain Mina how I got to not mhlambe get that hectic because being bema. Like serious. Besihlala mina nale out ngitshela ngabe sikhona ukuhlala like this. Ahlale ngale ngihlale ngapha. Kube ne 2-plate stove. Phakathi nendawo yezo silayitile ngihlale nezipili zami ahlale nezipili zakhe lapha sibe mhlambe nehalf moon ehleli la silibele siyincenga sizokushayela 6 to 6 ngathi sinathi ngeke usibone isiphuma sothenga ukudla or usibone isiphuma soyenza ini outside sihleli nje siyabhema tot.
So okay now you're deciding what when you're off.
Yeah, this is getting too much now.
Yeah, it's getting too much for you. You're getting off the train. I'm not doing anything here. This thing is not going to get me anywhere. Then what? Like, then you go back home?
Yeah, I go back home.
Then you go back and then you're like, oh,
still at my dad's now.
Yeah.
Still go back there. My dad still has that thing in his mind. Remember, I'm doing all these things on my own. I'm not even telling him. I'm not even mentioning that. I take myself to Sanka again.
So most people, Kaya, when they start drugs, right, they always say, I think maybe we are trying to find, especially family members or friends, you always try and find a deep-rooted problem as to why something has happened, right? Okay, let me give you a chance. Okay.
I just need to give a trail of how I started and what I've used. Do you understand? Getting to that. So now I take myself to Sanka again now. Among figure Sanka, my counselor therapist is like, why?
So you relapsed.
You again, you understand? But then she's like, young Temba, to a point ukuthi in her mind she knew ukuthi when you have issues, but she couldn't like tap into it as to what it was that was busy taking me back into the struggle. Because mangihlele naye uzibona umuntu was intelligent. Like how can you be doing such? And she's the one person who always brought me back to myself. Mangikhuluma naye, yabo, about why I'm using or what's going on at home. Because she'd always go back home to say, now where's your dad? Why is your dad doing this? What are you doing about it? Where's your mom? Who does she stay with? And, yabo. So when I would tell her those stories, I think beimshanga phakathi to say, no, mara inkinga has to be somewhere. Do you understand in the background?
So when Akaya, at this point, okay, we're not talking about it, but are you not thinking there's people that care about you that are probably hectically worried about you at this point? Or
people from church, but they couldn't do anything about it because they never understood what was going on. And I remember for the most part, they're also protecting themselves because now. And the Maya is hectic, as I mentioned. We are hectic now because we're stealing now. We and this guy went to a point of bringing Itai election later before it became Nyampe. We were the first people to sell it in our location. Meaning we would sell to feed our habit. To a point of which
you were getting high on your supply.
yeah, in a way. Because imali beingena and then we would use it again. Yeah, bra. Kushuthi besikhona ukusuka in Heidelberg ne around boma 9:10 and take a cab. Last cab ephuma Heidelberg eJozi and come back last cab esuka eJozi as Heidelberg. For some reason we'd always get it right. That's how bad it became. Ezinye izinto angizikhulumi, but then it's fine. And then bese with that even shuthi I saw when Usipo started now stealing impahla zomntana komncane. And selling. Kunendawo ababizi boys, no serious. Kunendawo ababizi boys elokishini where la hlala khona bezulu where they buy anything there. That's when I realized ukuthi untanga must now sinking in. And I started seeing he's now falling apart now. Ngithola because sekuyo thengisa izinto. I thought he was slick. And he would always have a way to maneuver himself through this. And then I started to realize, no, man, if Untanga is starting to do this, then Nami must gradually, I started stealing things in the house now. Shooting my dad was an elky, like he used to drink a lot. Magatola his offs. So he was always drunk. So Magenzagala when he's taskis, Magenzagala when he's drunk, I always creep into his room, pickpocket him and whatnot. I mean, there was a point where I think I even stole his bank card. Ngamele ukuthi azahole. What magahola ngahamba nga withdraw I think half of his salary to use. And was ngihamba nge1 ne. Yabo. Shuthi ngafika eJozi ngazithengela itekinyane elihle because yabona ubheke kenzakalani. Listen to this trail because now remember this person doesn't buy food in the house. He's not even buying me nje. Kunzima nokuthi ngimcele imali yesicathulo. For instance. Do you understand? So I think that day I was happy because now I was able to buy myself a pair of shoes. I bought myself baby Milo isangena. I was telling baby Milo that you can zip up. I came back, I was looking all gangster.
What's the craziest thing you've done when you were because you did a lot of crazy things.
I did a lot of crazy things.
What is the craziest thing that you've done?
I broke into my girlfriend's house. Yeah. Okay, let me not say girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then what did you do?
Shooting and shy around the Arla Park at my mom's. When I was there for hustle. Because my mom had promised me something so around the 15th. And then I got an invite for supper at this girlfriend's place. Ushala with her 2 kids. I think it was you're taking out. They have a long fence there. Like fence so that day I go siyadla kuba mnandi already mina bengida scouting ukuthi okay uhlala eWani akuna out and ushilo ukuthi uzohamba ngibe brave mina. The following morning mangivuka I'm like to my mom mina mele ngihambe namhlanje like go because when I would visit my mom I could never stay more than 2 days when I was there. So I'd come just for that day, mhlambe hustle that money kuye ngomshayashaya ukuthi endlini siyalamba phela ngishayamaza umuntu wakho njani. Then she would give me that $150 mara ngiyazi mina ukuthi mangiphuma la ngiyobona usinemali ngibheme ngihambe endlini at least I got my fix for the day. Do you understand? Crossing jump fence khabo lento mazinale mangijump fence round indlu ngiphula ifestera la toilet ngomuva ngingena ngalo. Mangingena ngalo phela ngithatha izinto ezidomo kanjani ubheke le bengithuke ngakhona. Ngingene ngaphakathi mangifika ngaphakathi ngithatha iDVD ne like islide se DVD angisho way back besebenzisa ama DVDs ngithatha yona ngithatha nama CD yabo angibheke ezinye izinto eceda lapho ngiyaphuma mangiphuma front opposite the house kune panel beaters amajita ngathi angibonile mangingena ngijumpa yabo and then they know ukuthi kuyenzakalani ukuthi kuhlala bani la yabo ngigcoke same hoodie baby milo le emhlophe ngijumpe mangijumpa out amajita angangibuzi wena ubuyaphi ufunani la woza la mabathi woza la ngilahlele yonke into phansi ngeslide mangislider amajita shoot they were too fast bangibambe. No, listen. Yabo bangibambe amajita mangibamba angibusela back to the same yard. They'd call the dad is an ex-cop uhlala somewhere in a plot that house bamshiyele yona ubaby girl nabantwana bakhe yabo bizwa the father bizwa the colors bizwa the sisters bizwa the cousins the whole community that area came out. Do you understand? Mabafika mathama ngabuzi he had a gun in his hand. Yabo athi uyangiceda vele like I can't have this because now I think ushawile ife ukuthi umntwana muhlala eyi1 la and then if wena ukhona ukuthi ungene and breaking like that bongayenzani ngabe bebakhona. Do you understand? The community already had raffled me up from la bangibambe khona to bring me into the yard. Yabo nginjanjani nje ebusweni. Should when I got into the yard they being dizzy ngakhona the only thing I did ngavele ngaphakamisa izandla zami ngashaya our father. I thought in my head I was dead. That guy was going to shoot me. Do you understand? Then I think with me doing that, I don't know what he felt or what he saw. Once I was shying I still have a mark la, no vinyana la. If you can no ngasondela close ungakhona ukumbona. Wangishyaya ngesituni sesibhamu here on my eye. Yabo, ngiceda kwabizwa amaphoyisa ngaboshwa.
So, look, I don't mean to cut your story, but Ishkai. Kaba hai le So, wow, flippin'. There's a reason why I didn't ask you these questions back then.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. So, okay. In all this mess, and all this smoking, you then decide, how did you get to rehab the second time?
I took myself to Sanka.
Again?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I
You
knew
were there before?
There was the only place I could get help. And then I remembered...
at what, like now in this situation, at what point did you like feel like, okay, this time I need help and this time it's for real?
Remember, I'm sick.
Oh, yeah. Because
I'm sick. And my being sick, sengivale all of my avenues now. Akukho la ngabalekele khona anymore now. Do you understand? Endlini senyaziwa ukuthi lo uyatshontsha. Phela mangifika endlini sekuyakhiwa. Do you understand? I have to wait for my dad and sometimes makajabulile he'll give me my key back because we had 2 keys, me and him. I can't go home. Mangithi ngiyovakashela my mom naye mangifika nje khiwa amagate. Ekasi the people that I had which I know is family from my mom's side and whatever mangiya kubo nabo same story khiwa amagate because
nobody wanted because now the trust is gone. The respect that you grew up, you knew yourself to be an A student. The respect is gone, which is an easy thing. But nobody ever came to you to say,
can we help?
How can we help you? And so is this now the second? Is this the time when you met?
No. We'll get to that. This
Okay.
is the second one.
Okay.
This is the second one.
Okay. So you relapsed. Okay.
I relapsed. And then manje la enye into futhi ebuhlungu with this one. Ukuthi I had a job. Yabo, and I was permanent. Working for and I was getting paid money because now bekuthi kufike Friday nje boma 2 point something I have 3 point something I have. Do you understand? Mara I would use it for le habit yam. So I had lost that. Like I had lost shuthi. I think this time besengimukiswa ile rock bottom ekhulunywa ngayo ukuthi I had nowhere else to go. Do you understand? Then I went there. Mangfika, okay, same therapist like I said. And then she's like, okay, uyile futhi. Yeah, let's hear your story. What are you going to do now? Because I don't think your dad is going to want to come and pay for you to go to another rehab and whatnot.
And rehabs, do you guys pay for rehabs?
Yeah, my corner, the ones that Sanka uses is free.
Okay.
Yeah, the ones that Sanka uses is free. So yeah, nalapho nga attend the sessions because they wanted to see how serious I was. Because remember, saying escalate now. It's not Mandrex, it's Thai and rocks. Do you understand? And the Thai and rocks is a different story because now you can't just come and say I want to quit. What if mhlambe ufuna ukuyeka and then bese go back because you are police? That lady would tell me, so do you have nobody in your corner anymore? I'm sure you don't even have friends anymore. Like it's just you, yabo. And I would tell her, I'm in a hole. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to get myself out. Yabo. And then she made means, ukuthi ngiye Cullinan. Yabo, Cullinan is a prison slash, yabo, with a rehab, like in Pretoria. Yabo. Then I went there. Laphayana I went, should I see 10, mara sasala see 2. Yabo, with the same problem. So the 8 decided 3 days later, they can't handle the down, they're gonna vie.
Is it like the detox
Yeah,
thing?
the detox, they couldn't handle it. Yeah, but then they skipped. Literally, they jumped fence and then came back to Heidelberg. And then Sasala C2, yeah, but with the guy that I eventually became friends with. Yeah, bo. And then Wabai Logo detoxed, yeah, but what? La Posashala 6 weeks. Yeah, because the first one I went for 3. Yeah. Then I patal. La Sashala 6 weeks, came back. Lapho vele bese ngizitshela ukuthi no, yabona manje ngiqala impilo yami fresh because I'm tired. Because I think I was starting to realize ukuthi no, I might say I don't have a drug problem as such, but then this is my second rehab that I've been to now. Do you understand? And then I'm a waste to everybody. And remember now, I'm coming back. It's like I must prove myself now to people. Do you understand? I must now try and play nice with my dad even. Yeah, but because I've broken so much trust. Do you understand? Even in the streets that I was staying in, I had to start making amends with people that I dropped. Give me in, mangenile, take whatever and then skip. But they wouldn't know it's me until I had to come back. So lapo, I found out for everything that I did, I had to go back. And then they say, apologize. Like if I had stolen something from you, Ellis, I had to come back to you and say, hey, I'm sorry. I came into your house that day and I'm the one that swiped that phone. Yeah, boss. So please find it in your heart to forgive me. And then they say, Magenza galengi right, I'll come back and yeah, bo. And then yeah, fast forward, I think besengi sharp now. I don't stay with my dad anymore. Senghlala in a churchyard. Yeah, bo, in a room which a storeroom which I turned into a room that I could sleep in. Yeah, bo, because my dad now is getting someone. And then mina, I'm like, he would put it this way, ati mina ngigcwalisa indlu yakhe. Yabo, so I need to move. Noma ngazithola umkhukhanyana somewhere, like ngizaba sharp, yabo. And then because now I was busy attending church after the rehab, like besengiba serious about getting clean and what and healing and whatnot, yabo. Got myself space there. I think I stayed there for like a year and a half plus. That's when I started to work at Spur again. Because bengaqala ukusebenza Spur when I met you there. Yabo. Phileke spare senyenza imali manje futhi again, and I'm starting to get myself indawo even at the flats. Like izinto they are happening now. I see God at work now. Do you understand? Fast forward, ngithole iSpani ngisebenza LCS. This is now recent. Ngisebenza LCS ngisebenza kanje. Mangifika lapha I'm been given positions that I didn't even study for. Yabo, from getting paid 3+ grand sengihola boma 20+. Do you understand? Ngibona umdali. Do you understand? Ngibona umdali futhi still.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And then now I'm staying with someone now. Yabo, I'm busy trying to start a family and whatnot. Yabo, like izinto ziyahlangana yonke into iba sharp. I don't know what happened here this time around. Yabo, but then one day I was at a pub. Yabo, ngizindlulela out of boredom. Yabo.
No way.
Ngizindlulela out of boredom. Then I met people ekdala ngabagcina like for the longest time, and I find that these people are selling. Yabo. Mangithi abantu baphethe amaphepha.
Well, that's where we can understand the as family members. It's like,
you understand? So phethe paper pink la, and I'm like, oh my Jesus, and I never mentioned ukuthi from the rocks and the Thai, there were times where I would dabble in crystal meth. There were times where I would dabble in cat and whatnot, chabo. Mara those never had an effect. Like I think it was not my choice, my drug of choice, because they didn't do anything to me. Mara bang pemi rock ne Thai, lapho bengizizwa right. Do you understand? This guy uthengisa rock yabo, and mangifika kuye akangithengiseli. Hey masekante ekudala ngagcina bamba la yabo. Aw nami vele ngiyabamba out of drunkenness nani, and then I ngishuthe. After that day I continued. I think from
this
that
was
time,
now after Spur.
yeah. Manje sengibhema rock kuphela. Yabo, I'm like I rock at least one thing.
This
and
is
I'm working.
after you found a new opportunity now.
Yes. I'm getting paid buma 20 grand, bro. Yabo, I can handle this. Yabo. And at the back of my head being busy,
But this is now recent.
yeah. Ngithi lento le not clever le. Do you understand? This is what I'm telling myself. Yabo. ngiyabhema shuthi this was now the routine angisho sengimdala manje and I'm only doing rocks yabo and ngapha ngiyaziphuzela nginokuthatha nje a shot or two yabo ukuyehlisa nje just this thing phuza nama energy drink kakhulu because yini mafika endlini yabo mangifika endlini ngisetupa yonke into njengomuntu onengqondo Ellis setupa yonke into grand and then mase ngicedile into esendlini I would sit and do my stuff njengomuntu onengqondo yabo I'll even read my Bible yabo I'd write because I'd normally write yabo and then it happened 8 months into what I was doing like 8-7 months into what I was doing and then the person that I was staying with started to notice ukuthi mara imali ayisekho ngapha uhlala usekolotini yabo ngikolota bomashonisa ngikolota into ya recently singasho ukuthi a year ago yabo it's like shuthi April yabo no it's fine I understand yabo so mamela yabo so kube yiloko yabo lo muntu maka realize now I need to come with the truth now to say hey why do I have so much debt yabo why is it that I'm getting paid so much mara I am not doing anything in the house yabo and to a point of not even buying groceries now imoto ihlale ngana petrol mangithela ipetrol until 50 rand just nje ukuthi kusukela ku orange yabo and then go to work so then I came to ilentuza futhi lobu down and out again manje emsebenzini ngiyayekela yabo because I don't want the dent I quit my job endlini la bengihlala khona ngikhishwa amahata bekunama van I think I3 ne iveco yama green beans these people that they call green beans bazongikhipha endlini kwami bra yabo the lady decided that she's going to go and open a case uyenza yini ama protection order yabo and mina bengithatha yonke into phela endlini I almost sold the car that black Jazz did you know I almost sold that car yabo and bengithengisa kancane thatha i-battery yabo mara bengislam because i-battery bengilithatha ngilimukisa e-pawn shop manginemali ngilande futhi ngilibisele yabo
No way.
uyala
I'm not trying to make a joke of
sure
this,
no
right?
no it's fine
But I'm confused.
we're getting somewhere with the story
This story is going somewhere, but I'm just thinking, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
it is what
Like,
it is
I'm
but
just not understanding.
yeah same nami I was there with you like bruh and this time around I would tell her ukuthi it was as if I was sitting on a couch in my house Ellis ngizibhekile and I was busy saying to myself Kaya you again bruh like you know exactly where this is going to end and this was now fresh days where I was busy using do you understand and I'm busy telling myself ukuthi mara not well when I yourself you are really digging that hole again for yourself like what's
I
up
think for me now, most times, like, and this is what I was about to say, like, is to say, and also I think maybe let's give Mami a chance to say something here because I think most of the time we want to find some level of trauma. And I mean, we've been talking about this conversation for a while. And I think the only thing that I am having here is to say, I started off because I was being naughty and then I just found myself in a mess. And I think sometimes when we don't understand why like Ukaya, they would go into the space, we try and find some profound reason, like maybe what's a rapey way, or maybe there's gotta be some big, grandiose trauma that must have happened to him that has led to this. And here's Kaya saying, no. Are you finding that a lot of us who are exposed to people that are taking are making excuses for them just to try and understand?
I'm shocked. I didn't go that far.
What do you mean?
With him, like in terms of digging, but why I didn't. Okay, the angle that I'm coming from, number one, I'm a child of God, and fortunately or unfortunately, my father was a bishop. The only thing that I know is serving God more than anything. That's what I master. Okay. So now, listening to this, unfortunately, is that God doesn't look anybody like as we look at them, right? So now, me being a PK, the only thing that I know is the word. And if now I come across a person, so is the issue to say you are not going to speak your mind, you are not going to speak your experience, but what does God say, even in situations like this ones? But let me step out of being a child of God. I'm going to talk like you. Mara, what is it? Why keep on going back to the same thing? Yeah, and 1 minute your mind is telling you what I am, and grow up, change your life. There is something better that you can do, but then until you experience certain thing, like as we are discussing earlier, to say, talking about the psychology, which I said, if it was according to me, I was going to say everybody must go study, even if it's an elective course. I will just get the basic. But here, what I can say is that what it defeats us as children of God when we look to people like Abukaya is that Jesus one day said, I didn't came here for clean people. I didn't came here for okay people, but I came for the sick. So those are my target. Now, when I go deeper to that, what are the sick people? It's people like Bokaya, it's people like us, it's people like you. But then we differ with the sicknesses, unfortunately. You understand? So then, mind that in the midst of everything, all of us, we've got a calling. That now we have to execute or to present according to God's plan. Yes, there are a lot of religions, there are a lot of beliefs, there are a lot of whatever. But then the one that I'm talking about is the one that all of us, we believe that there is a creator, almighty. And we believe that all of us were made like his image. And all of us, we believe when we die, we've never been there, but we assume all of us when we die, we go to heaven.
So for me, Mami, I think I'm just, and I agree 100% with what you're saying, right? I'm just trying to think from your educational background,
Yeah.
and the fact that you qualified in this space. I'm saying that the natural instinct for any individual or parent, sister, friend having experience with somebody that's got an addiction problem, we want to find some deeper thing that potentially has happened. And according to Kaya, in his experiences, it's not that deep. I was just being naughty. And Rena, we're going out going like,
There are serious issues.
there's serious issues, and it's not necessarily the case that the case is like the issue is that deep that got Kaya into being, they're getting addicted to the first choice. Maybe we can say men drugs. I think that's where, you know what I mean? At that point, Kaya hasn't indicated anything that says, you know what, I am actually, I'm doing this because, oh my God, something is happening in my life. He's just being a boy, being naughty. And then maybe, like, are you finding that most people are making excuses for the reasons as to why people are getting into drugs?
Actually, the majority of them, you are not going to get the actual. It's maybe, we can say 40% or 50% of them. Because after I graduated, I was doing like a Christian counseling. I found myself on the streets. That was not my plan. Now having an interest to understand when ufika kanjani la. And all of them, they are different. They are from good homes. It's not like they've been chased away. They've decided to leave. Like, as Ka said now, once you have a hand, well, parents, they get tired. But then, digging deeper, I found that there is a gap when we are assisting a person who's struggling with drugs, but not going to the family so that nabo baba educated or actually what is happening and what kind of support and assistance they can give. I'm a child of God, but nasaba pete it down. bengiyikhipha imali and give it to them.
So when did you guys meet?
Kule rehab yami engiyokuyo ekugcineni.
Yeah.
FRC. So what I had discovered now about, because there was now a pattern that I realized whilst being at this rehab. Ukuthi mina it's either njengoba sengikhulile. Yes.
Before you carry on, when was this?
In April.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was at this rehab specifically, I had realized this is now my own realizations. Remember, I've been to rehabs and I know how they operate and whatnot. Yeah, I discovered, so with me, because I never had stability in my life, I never had like one place, engathi la kusekhaya ngihlala la, yabo, that affected me without me even knowing. My dad being an absent parent, my mom not being there and choosing kids from another father and whatever to raise better than me also affected me. Yeah, but for the most part, when we dug deeper with my counselor, the one that I was supposed to bring, that couldn't come, was that now mina, this thing with my dad, it's gotten so bad that for every time mhlambe he comes back into my life, because when I started working, the first person I'd call was him. I went to every month, bengapheli iviki ngingafonanga, just to ask, hey, kunjani? Yabo, kuyenzakalani ngempilo? Do you understand? But then he was always like shutting me off. So when I would express that to my counselor, she would always make mention to say, no, when all these years that I've dealt with you, because I mean, I've been dealing with this person for like past 10 years. She would say all the times, like when we would speak about Wena and what is going on with you and whatnot, and why do you always relapse, and your dad comes through. Yabo. So then she gave me an assignment to go to, okay, Pega, go inside of you, yabo, and go speak to the 10-year-old again. Yabo. Try and find out how they were treated, yabo, how they were raised, and then go through those feelings. Do you understand? Don't shut them off. Like, and go to the time when you were 15, 16, 17, 18, and find out, ukuthi bowuthithwa kanjani? What did your dad do? Do you understand? And then write a letter to your father, specifically him. Do you understand? And say exactly what you want to tell him from how he raised you and how he's been absent in your life and whatnot. Yabo? And when you're done writing that letter, it's either you take it to him if he allows it, and then if you don't, we thathe uyoyishisa and bury it. Yabo? Just to make a way with him. But not saying ukuthi mhlambe siyamzonda because he's still alive.
So, Kaya, I think at this point, you are still trying to find your feet around the addiction, because
Yes.
it's not to say, it's to say that you are trying, you are battling this addiction
these are
at this
just
point.
interesting.
Hold up. You are struggling the addiction because when I met you a few years ago, you had quit, you were clean, and then I mean, for me it's a shocker to say April this year you were in rehab again. It's something that I was not expecting, you know what I mean? So it's safe to say at this point you are still struggling the addiction. You are acknowledging that there's a problem and you are fighting this problem. And then I think the one parting question that I would like to ask you, what help do you need?
I concur with what you say. What happened is my discovering the issue. In that rehab, I was supposed to be there for 3 months, but I only spent 2 weeks.
The first time?
No. This last one. That's when I realized, lento le, I sing drugs with me. Do you understand? It's all these things that I've been bottling things up about me, about my life and how I've been raised and what I've went through. Family and always being chucked out, like being made a Superman. Which when I was born, when you can handle yourself and whatnot. Do you understand? Which led me now to be in the streets and whatnot and just be with gangsters and be with people about these things just to keep calm. So I'd use that, do you understand, as a cover up for me now, without knowing. So somebody had to come and tell me, when inkinga yakho is this, if you can deal with this, your inkinga is over, right? And then when I dealt with those feelings, when I dealt with how my dad was, towards me, how my mom was, how I was raised, do you understand? My shortcomings, how I'm not, or how I've not had stability in my life and whatnot. After dealing with those things, I was able to move on. You can bring them now and we can search. Manje ngikhona ukusiza abantu busy ngayo this thing. And tell them ukuthi wena ubhizi uyabhema la mara you know very well ukuthi akusiyinkinga le. Like kahle what is your problem? And then I got to a realization.
But I just feel like it's a bit early, right? Because
for me,
I'll tell you why I'm saying this. I think it's a bit early for you. Yes, that's what I'm saying, because You could go clean for maybe
5
a year,
years.
5 years,
I was
whatever.
clean for 5 years
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
finished,
exactly. And then relapse, and then now you are clean shorter period than a longer period you've been seeing you clean right now, meaning that you are still at a point where you are still working on yourself. I mean, your triggers is not like somebody who has a traumatic experience, right? When something good happens that God blesses you with, it's a trigger. When something bad happens that you don't want, it's a trigger, because God answered you. You were working at Spur, you got a big opportunity. That was a trigger for you to go and do that. And it's just like, what the heck? You know what I mean? And so you guys, like, you know what I mean? Like, at this point, you need to figure. And I like something when I was talking with Bebe, and she's talking about having some element of self-awareness about you. And I think that's where you are. Because right now, if you're talking about between April and now, we're talking only about a few months, right? Right? Like, and now you have to now go and rebuild.
That's what I'm busy doing now.
Which is okay, which is why I'm saying it. I think it's a bit premature for you to then start being an active in helping while you still need to help yourself.
Not when it comes to drugs. Not when
You're
it comes to
I mean, like, you're a couple of months in, Kaya. I think at this point,
Shuti, my relapse, I'm sure remember I told you that I picked up a pattern. Pela, my being clean manje for 5 years in, yabo, going for 6, and then finding myself using for straight 9 months. Yabo, and then after 9 months, Leo, 3 months later, saying buyang umqondo ukuthi no matter, there was the problem. This is me saying I found the core problem that was literally
is it
causing
not
me.
the first time?
What do you mean? Is this?
Like, you've realized.
Yeah, you see, that's why I need it. This was like that paradigm shift now to say, now I know with all these relapses, all these times that I've been going back to this thing, this was the thing that was making me to go back there.
I can understand when you understand something is a problem. And the beautiful thing is acknowledging it and taking accountability that it's a problem. But I also understand that in the midst of trying to fix that problem, you want to find the reason as to why something is happening in your space at that point in time. And I'm just saying, at this point in time, what I'm seeing, and I'm by no means no professional, but what I'm seeing is somebody who understands there's a problem, is somebody who's taking accountability for a problem, which is the start. In 6 months from now, God forbid, touch on wood, you don't go back to this shit. We don't have to have this conversation again.
Trust me, man.
But no, I do trust you. But here's what I'm saying. Then you win the lottery. Then you have 5 million. Now you've got bags and bags and bags of this shit. And then we back here. So what I'm trying to show you, I'm not saying that the realization that you're having is fault. What I'm saying is what I'm seeing is somebody that is literally looking for, where is this coming from? I understand that you want to fix the problem. That we can't take away from you.
Hear me out.
But I'm not so sure about this paradigm
Hear
shift.
me out. Hear
I
me
feel
out,
like the
babe.
paradigm shift
Ellis. Hear me out, because I understand why you would talk like that. That's why I had to give you that trail, because I'm saying there's a shift now, because now things are different. I'm not alone anymore. Do you understand? I'm facing every single thing that I know to be a trigger, every single thing that I know to be something that might be connected to whatever was. Do you understand? That brought me this far. Do you understand? So it's easy for me to tell you now, come 6 years down the line, you would never hear Ukaya went to a rehab or Ukaya relapse.
I give it a Disney for a second.
It's constant work, bruh.
It is, and I think that's
constant
the
work.
reality. You know, I don't think at this point in time, currently, you can be an advocate for not taking drugs, because I think you're still fighting it. And yes, what you're showing is that it's a continuous challenge, right? And what you're showing is that it's continuous work, right? But to say, Kaya, come, let's talk to people and let people not smoke drugs anymore. You're not the guy for it, my guy. I'm sorry to tell you.
It's fine.
It's still pretty fresh. It's still pretty fresh. Yeah. It's still
of healing.
Yeah, I think so. We can talk about the fact that we are starting a journey with you
journey of discovery with you. This is what you have done so far. Then you are now relating to the people that are still doing it, and let us continue having this conversation on a continuous basis with your help, and we continue checking in, and then let's have the real conversations of what you're really going through, so maybe other people can relate to it. That becomes more genuine and authentic, as opposed to like trying to push a narrative to say that you can help somebody heal right now while you are still trying to figure yourself
What
out.
if I was to say I've been, and there's people who are in rehab now because of me?
No. I mean, there's nothing wrong with you giving advice. I just think it's premature because you're still figuring yourself out.
You know, guys, the main aim of our show is to plug in. I was kind of hoping this would have been an episode that would provide us with some insight on how to beat this problem. However, this was not the case. The silver lining, though, in this episode is that, unlike many, Kaya acknowledges his problem and he's more than eager to win. And so, as varied views, we wish Kaya nothing but the best in his journey of recovery. If you're a family member experiencing the same struggle, or if you've won in this challenge, please communicate with us in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to subscribe and like our channel. I'll catch you next week. Enjoy your weekend, and peace be with you.